Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to a hot hatch. It's been a while since I've actually got my hands on a hot hatch, especially what I call a pocket rocket. So this is a 2012 Abarth 500 1.4 T-Jet. Basically it's a 1.4 turbocharged engine producing about 135 horsepower and about 200 newton-meters of torque. Now you're probably thinking that's not a lot of horsepower. However, there's a big significant piece in the whole story behind this car is that the car only weighs just over a ton. It weighs 1,035 kilos, which is pretty crazy. It's basically a power to weight ratio of about 130. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty exhilarating. It's quite old school sort of hot hatch. Yeah, really cool, really quirky. I've never actually got my hands on one of these before, so it's quite nice. Again, different to the usual sort of German type cars, etc. as well, which is really good. Yeah, so far I'm pretty impressed. Biggest thing I find since I've got in this car is the seating position. Seating position is very high and really just odd. It's a shame because I was expecting sort of really good things on this, but yeah, the seating position has sort of ruined it a bit for me. I feel like I'm sort of sat in a truck almost. It's a bit weird. And I've tried to sort of readjust the seat, but it doesn't seem to adjust. There's very minimal adjustment in the seat and in the steering wheel. So yeah, it's a bit funny, bit quirky. But anyway, it's not going to ruin the experience because it goes very well. You know, like I said, it's a 1.4 litre turbocharged engine, and it goes really well. There's a tiny bit of turbo lag, not massively. It's actually very good on this as well. Obviously, it's a very short wheelbase. Engine's really good as well, really quick, quite stiff. I wouldn't say it's not quite mini stiff though. You know, if you've driven sort of minis, etc., or you know, I've owned a few minis, John Cooper Works, Cooper S, etc. I find that the chassis is, the suspension even and damping, etc., it is quite stiff. It takes a bit of getting used to. But yeah, so it's like I said, it's no stiffer than that. So good. Handling is actually very good, so very direct. So I've currently got the car in sports mode, which basically sharpens the steering, increases the throttle response, just makes it a lot more enjoyable. Another cool feature this car has as well is that it's got a shift light. So obviously if you've got a normal mode, it tends to tell you to shift into a higher gear a lot of the time, so obviously to get better fuel economy, etc. But obviously when it's currently sat in sports mode, it doesn't tend to go up until you sort of almost get to the red line, and then it tells you to shift up. So yeah, so quite cool little feature. You know, makes you feel a bit like a race car driver. Interior, it's very quirky. I'd say it's very Italian. There's things all over the place almost. So this car has got the optional red leather seats, which are really nice, like a sort of deep red, yeah, which really finish off nicely. And also got the contrasting red stitching around sort of the instrument cluster and steering wheel as well, which make it look really nice. And you've got the big Abarth logo in the centre of the steering wheel, and it's got this sort of cream or pearlescent white fascia on the inside dashboard, which matches the outside of the car. So the car is like a pearlescent white colour. I don't know the name of these colours, etc. I'm not going to go into that more detail. I'm not an anorak, but yeah, it's like a pearlescent white colour is the best way to describe it, which is really nice. Outside wise styling, very subtle. Got a little boot spoiler, which looks quite nice. I really like the wheels. Got like multi-spoke wheels that look similar to sort of like a BBS wheel. I think it really finishes up nicely. They are 17-inch, I believe. Yeah, it rides really well considering, you know, they are quite big wheels considering the size of the car, but it rides really well. Got a bit of clear road now. There you go, shift light comes on. Sounds really good. It actually powers really well. All the way through the gears. This one's got the 5-speed manual gearbox. A bit odd, I was sort of expecting a 6-speed gearbox, but 5-speed with fairly short gearing. Gearbox is actually quite good as well. It's quite short, similar to a Fiesta ST almost. You know, that's quite a similar sort of feel to it. Very notchy gearbox, really good, really quite engaging. lets you actually physically drive it, etc. The little detail I did pick up on earlier is that it's got sort of like red mirrors, which look really nice as well. A bit of contrast, I think, always adds something a bit different to the car and makes it stand out. And again, matches with the sort of the seats and some of the sort of panel interior leather-wise. Twisty roads now, really open up. There's no one in front of me, which is good. Yeah, like I said, it pulls really well. There's not much turbo lag. There's a tiny bit of a power band that comes up sort of further up into the rev range, which is quite nice. You have also got a boost gauge. Build quality, it's okay. You know, like I normally compare to a lot of the other cars I've driven. It's not German, it's not a German car, so you know you can't expect sort of premium feel and premium materials in the interior. It's very plasticky, etc. But you know, this car's not about that anyway. It's not about having premium materials. It's all about the driving. You know, it's a lovely little pocket rocket. Very impressed so far. Like I said before, I've never driven one of these before. But yeah, really cool. I like the feel. I like the sort of analog feel you get with this. It really goes. It really does go. And it sounds really good as well. It sounds really, really good. It's almost basically like a go-kart. That's the sort of feel you get with it. You know, very similar to sort of like a go-kart type feeling. So yeah, so all in all, a very cool little quirky car, which mainly focuses on the driving and the driver. It doesn't really worry about horsepower figures, etc., which makes it quite an interesting alternative to a hot hatch. Like I said, it goes back almost to like the old school days of like a 205 GTI. You know, they didn't have a lot of power, but they were very light, and therefore they created a really, really good category of car, which obviously was born as the hot hatch. You know, very decent, you know, good power to weight rate. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed a short review. Massive thank you to Ron Road Cars for lending me the car to do this review for an hour. This car is for sale. It's currently live on their website, so if you're interested, go and check them out. I'll put a link in the description below as usual. This car has done just over 20,000 miles as well, so it's very low mileage. It's a 2012 car. So considering, you know, if you marry it up, that's literally nothing in terms of mileage. So it's probably used as a bit of a weekend toy type thing, which is a good buy, you know. I mean, yeah. So if you're interested, then please go check it out. And thank you for watching as usual. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos, and hit that like button as well. And I'll see you guys very soon for the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers. Bye. Woo-hoo!